gosh. Okay, so this is the official, is this the official
Yeah,
here
it
or
is.
what?
Yes,
Okay,
and I did put Mr. Stewart first on the agenda. Subdivision.
right, that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? And then this really looks to be straightforward as well, except that we are not to get.
I think he said he's working
Yeah,
on something.
Yeah. See, yeah.
Oh, jeepers. How'd I give you that now?
You know
Oh,
what?
the template. I had the template up here is April 6th, May 4th. That's okay. I came in here earlier and hit all May 4th on there, and I had forgotten to put Mr. Cheney second on the agenda.
Huh?
So I went in and redid the template and never took the April 6th off.
It's
I
the,
think you're a busy person.
It's crazy here today. We had a very long meeting here today, right in here.
May the fourth be with you.
That's
what we
right.
have, right? Is that what we have tonight?
Yep, Margaret
That's
Thatcher.
I'm gonna go home and watch a Star Wars movie or something.
Yep.
Can we, Bob or somebody, could you move that chair?
Oh,
out of the
yeah.
way? I don't know if anybody's gonna sit there,
Well,
but,
Mrs. Vasile could sit in that chair.
Yeah, there you go.
well, yeah. Well, no, it just it makes it a little
I thought somebody else.
easier to see everybody else.
Moved it over.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Okay.
And Brian's not here, so, but we do have a quorum. Yeah, yeah.
Ready to roll.
Ron's over here. Okay. All right, well, it's officially 4 o'clock, according to the,
Official
that
time.
clock anyway, right?
All times are approximate.
Yeah, so 4 o'clock in this room, we'll get started. Let's see. All right, so we'll call the meeting to order and motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Andy,
I'll second.
Gary. Okay. Roll call.
Karen? Yes. Bill?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And Larry?
Yes. Okay. All right, we've had minutes from last month's meeting, April 6th. Motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Gary, second.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Changes, edits, good to go, perfectly submitted. All right, roll call, please.
Karen?
I'll have to abstain.
Oh.
I wasn't here.
Bill?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Bob, you weren't here either,
No.
correct?
And
And
neither was I.
and neither were you.
So
Okay.
that's a 1, 2, 3, that's.
Brian was here.
Brian and
and,
so was Ron,
and,
and I will get their input on them.
All right, or do we need to table this until the next time?
Do you want me to
Since we-
table? I can table the minute
Why don't
for
we table?
approval.
Yeah, why don't we table that till next time?
Okay,
All right, I think that's the official.
gotcha.
Official rule. Since nobody was here. Well, I was just one here. Okay, so we'll move on to David Stewart site plan review. We have somebody here. David,
Jeremy Arts, the architect for the project.
I'm sorry?
Jeremy Arts, the architect for the project.
Oh, right, okay. Yep,
Is this your handwriting?
Yes, it is.
That's very, very nice. Perfect. Clear.
4 years.
Can read
I
it.
had to Letter in college. So I'm getting good at it.
architects do that.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very precise. Very
Yeah,
nice.
although I had to check to see if this was typed, you know, in that sort of some font or something, you're right. So, want to give us a summary of the project?
Yep, it's an existing residence that my client, we're going to stay within the footprint of the existing residence.
Right,
We will be doing some demolition on the interior of the non-bearing walls, which I think some of you have been by, you know, just all studs in there. So we're removing some of that to create new floor plans. And then upstairs, still within the footprint, we are going to add on a little bit up above to make it head height approved second story.
Okay.
It's just on the backside of the property next to the road. And then we're also going to put a covered porch on the backside of the property. That will be serve as their main entry from their drive. And then to the side of the property, sorry, I'm trying to remember
Would be south.
the south side, we're going to put a patio with permeable pavers. There'll be a grill, and also we're going to create privacy barrier with a string of trees. Species could be selected, so it'll be creating a nice little privacy from the adjacent neighbor.
Okay.
And then in the rear, there's going to be another permeable patio with a small fire pit that'll be surrounded by a concrete, circular concrete.
Mhm.
Presently, we were planning on having moving the stairs that go down over the existing retaining wall, which we're not touching, and moving them down so they're lined up with the house, more from an aesthetic point of view. And then the whole house getting re-sided, board and batten, painted white, with black trim.
Mhm.
The garage property, we are not presently not doing anything with.
Right.
He's gonna leave the garage as is for now.
Okay. Anybody have comments?
We have this upgraded, this just never tried to
Yes.
know. That's the current one.
That,
This one doesn't show.
The deck went away,
Yeah, okay.
and the new existing deck's gonna be torn out, and it's just gonna become a permeable paver patio instead, in lieu of a raised deck. We have some concrete steps down to the permeable patio, but there will not be a deck on that side any longer.
Karen, I'm sorry, what did you ask?
Deck, the south end of the deck, is it still gonna be there?
And you're gonna do it as patio, you said.
Yeah,
correct?
patio, and the existing one, which is in very bad condition, is gonna be torn out.
Mhm.
Very good.
That's that area next to where the barbecue
Yep.
area, right,
Yep.
adjacent to it, yep, just, okay.
So you had
This
talked
some
about
of the
privacy,
things that she's putting.
shrubs or whatever, that
I think we did,
obstruct
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So they're all in and out.
Correct. We wanted to create some kind of
Stabilized
vegetation along
construction.
there.
Yeah.
We still need to select the species. They'll be tall enough, probably minimum height about 6 to 7 feet, to create a nice barrier, privacy for both neighbors.
How far toward the lake or watermark are those, is that privacy going to?
Right now, I believe I have it shown, it's just gonna go just as far as a little bit past the house.
A little bit past the house, okay.
Yep.
Just didn't know if the neighbors had any comment about what you were gonna
During
grow there and, you know.
during the zoning meeting, their main comment was they pretty much didn't want to see my client grilling at his grill.
Right.
Hanging out there.
Right.
So we
Okay,
blocked the patio area.
So the trees that are going to be planted, they're going to be pretty good size.
7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Trees, probably, they'll be evergreen.
Yeah, right.
Actual species, we haven't selected one yet, but
Right.
they'll
Well,
be the parameters
yeah.
for it.
I mean, that's just to satisfy the comments from
Yeah.
zoning, so we got that. Okay.
The 2 parking spaces, is that next to the tree, the big trees, or designated?
Yeah, my client's actually going to be engaging with an arborist, and the large trees on there are in dire shape.
Yeah,
And I believe we're gonna examine taking down some of the larger trees
okay.
that have potential to eventually fall in a big storm. I haven't been out there since we had that massive ice storm. To my knowledge, nothing's fallen.
No.
But he is going to hire arborist to examine those.
Yeah. Pretty good.
One right by the road, I would say, is the
Kind of.
worst.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of dead.
Yeah, kind of. It's probably habitat for some really, important species.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, right,
Important animals.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe half of it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Any other comments? We do have an email we received today, this morning from Ally. I see that we've also had a revised site plan that was submitted, and it looks like most of the items have been addressed.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
In regards to the stairs down over the retaining wall,
Yeah,
I did talk to my client a little bit. Right now, it's aesthetically, that's the only reason why we were lining up for the house.
okay,
But if it does turn into violations of penalties, he's just gonna leave the existing stairs where they are right now, which I believe is further north along the retaining wall.
okay, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah,
Uh,
That
so
would be-
we went down and measured it,
that
we
would
don't
be
have
south.
as accurate of a
Yeah, whatever.
process as the DEC does, it's also their jurisdiction, it's favor. And we saw that the mean height likely comes up to maybe the third stair.
Okay.
At the
So
wrong angle.
if that was removed and placed in the same footing, even that would require a permit. And so if that's just ripped out of there before the DEC can confirm, that could be a mean high water level violation. They haven't gotten back to me, but we just sent out the email yesterday. So it is possible, the way that the shoreline is drawn, it does say approximate, of course, but it is a bit closer. And the way that we had measured it definitely, comes up almost to the wall itself.
Okay,
So there might be a little bit of risk there before we hear back from the DEC if something is done with those stairs.
yep, and my client was fine with leaving the existing ones where they were and not touching them,
okay,
and maybe addressing them at a later date. So it's not important to him to have those up and running.
okay,
Secondly, as far as the trees, I see that the erosion control kind of runs through the trees. I'm assuming those will be placed behind closest to the neighbor's property.
Yeah, there'll be
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay. And also, just a comment or a note, sometimes depending on the height of the trees, it really does need to be 10 feet away from any foundation or utility, or it could damage some things underground. So just to make note of that.
Okay, thank you.
is there anything underground there, near there?
I mean, the foundation of the neighbor's house is kind of quite close.
Oh, it's very close, yeah, okay. But you'll be, okay. So anybody else have,
I just might comment on the fact that says silt sock or alternate is a silt fence. I think we've been pretty, not adamant, but we've recommended using the socks. We think that's probably a better way to go than the fence, because if they aren't installed exactly right, the fences can give way and it still can leak a lot of sediment through there, so.
That's primarily why I put it as the base bid. That's what we're pushing with. And then he was gonna get prices. I think they're actually gonna wash with each other.
I can't imagine not being, I mean, the concern and the issue we've had for several years is that the fence is typically not well maintained. And it takes a lot more to maintain it than the socks, which you can just lay down and be done with it. So I would prefer not to have the alternate in there and just have them do the sock.
I
So
can remove
just
that.
remove the alternate, I think I, meaning we.
Okay.
Notes here. Okay. So with the condition of holding off on installing the steps, and that if, or I'm sorry, condition is that you will install the steps if not in violation with DEC.
Correct.
And if
turns
it
out
is
that-
in violation, turns out in violation, then you would forego construction of the steps and use the existing.
Correct.
Okay, that would be one condition. Second condition would be to use the silt sock only, delete reference to the alternate. And the third condition, I think, would be that coordinate the location of the trees so that you're not interfering with existing foundations.
Okay.
Okay, so I think those would be the three conditions. Otherwise, or with those conditions, I would move that we approve the plan as submitted. That make-
Some of your other suggestions, Ally, do you feel that that's adequate where what we've stated so far?
Yeah, so I mean, originally, my biggest concern was about the stairs and then, where the silt fences and now, sediment loss of course would be placed. And it seems like this is more than thorough as far as the placement, so as long as the construction entrance and the sediment logs are placed as designed and maintained, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, according to this, so there is a construction, stabilized construction entrance. There is the issue of the socks and retainage all the way around the construction site. We talked about the stairs. You're recommending that seeding, mulching of disturbed area be performed as soon as possible. I think that would be important to also add to the motion that would be a condition of that as well.
Seating.
Yeah, it's item number 4.
Okay.
Seeding, mulching, just disturbed areas performed as soon as possible to reduce stormwater runoff. Good. You see it coming. Okay. Is that enough for a motion?
Yeah, and I'll make it.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
okay,
everything in here, yeah.
okay. Okay, a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? I don't want to cut it short if there are any questions or comments from anybody. Okay, roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and Larry.
Yes. Unanimously. Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
May the fourth be with you.
Mhm.
May the fourth be with you.
Yes.
Yes, I mean,
On this
we
project,
should-
on this project.
Yeah. I assume they're going to be trying to start as soon as we get a sunny day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And it stops. raining.
Somebody's cleaned out the interior pretty
Yeah,
well. So
yeah.
They must have been working on it.
Yeah.
That was 2 owners ago.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right?
I think,
Yeah.
I think,
Oh, is that right?
It's
Oh, I
been-
didn't know
It's been
that.
empty
Yeah.
like that for a while.
I think Denny Sealer cleaned it
Yeah.
out and then
Oh.
decided it's not gonna work for him.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's really not all that big.
It's a tight, it's a tight.
It is tight.
But
yeah.
I mean, compared to what's already there.
It was small when it was, I was in there with all the walls up.
yeah,
I bet.
oh, it's very small. One of the 3 bedrooms doesn't have a closet in it, but maybe that's an
I
office.
suspect when they get through though. it'll be-
Oh, it was-
Well, it's only Mrs. Sinclair was there forever.
being on the lake, but
Yeah.
It is a real sliver of a.
Who's that?
Mrs. Sinclair,
Jane.
Jane Sinclair. We called her Princess Sinclair.
Oh.
Princess Jean. She was so nice. So
That's my
nice.
brother-in-law's mother,
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So nice.
Marguerite. Lovely lady.
Okay,
Princess, huh?
all right. Next on the agenda, we have the Cheney minor subdivision. I assume that would be you. Okay.
I was gonna say, I'll move over to center up, I think.
Oh, okay. Patrick, I can still see you. You need to sit
Yeah, I'll
behind.
move
Yeah,
forward. Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. Okay. So. oh, yours. It looks pretty straightforward. I'm sorry, you're Mike.
I'm Michael, yes.
Mike, okay. Want to talk about it? Tell us about it?
Right now, it's, the greater lot is my in-laws, my wife's parents.
Okay,
They have the house on the front. We're doing the subdivision off of it for the 4 acres for myself, my wife, and family, with the intent, coming out this summer, but within the near future to do two-story residential building with attached garage, probably minimum of a bedroom, 2 bath.
Okay.
Haven't gotten much into the details of the house, footprints, blah, 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 blah.
Right,
That's the house we're
okay.
hoping to put behind that first tree line.
Mhm.
Pretty relatively centered on the property. And then, I said probably 2/3 of the way back type deal.
Okay. It's to be pretty straightforward at this point. What we're doing is we're discussing for approval the subdivision. Any thoughts or questions? Anybody?
I see there was a seeker. with it, a small-
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see anything that was,
No, I
that
didn't.
that stood out on the seeker. I don't know if we need to go through this typically page by page. I think we're good with this.
That's the short one.
Yeah, there's nothing that really stood out. You're using a well, you're using a septic system, so. What's the one that I looked at? But anyway, any thoughts on you? Gary?
Yeah. Patrick, do you have any comments on that at all?
No, just to say that they are both conforming lots under our existing zoning, and Michael called me some time ago before he contracted with his surveyor, so that they, create a conforming lot out of the existing.
Okay. That's all I have to say about that.
Less said the better, right?
I guess. Okay. We have a motion?
I'll move. Second.
We move to accept, I assume,
Yes.
the subdivision.
Yes,
Okay,
Mr. Official.
okay.
And Andy, you said?
We move to approve. Okay. Roll call?
Karen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and Larry.
Yes. We're good.
Okay.
Motion carried unanimously. I think we're good to go. All
Good
right.
luck. Thank you
Good
so much.
luck. Yeah.
Thank you, I'll need it.
Your card. makes money.
Mhm.
Pay for it.
All right. Anything else? Did anything come of the, I know there was a zoning board meeting, was it, that had to do with that property off North Street, North Road?
No, that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, it didn't, okay.
Are you talking,
The
Everest?
Everest, yeah.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. That'll be on the 16th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
The
Right.
board does have several things on that night, actually, like 5 different items. That'll be the last one, I'm sure.
Yeah,
There will be a public hearing on that.
yeah, okay, all right, so there's really, I just
No
curious
news
to
that-
know what came of it, but they haven't had any,
They haven't
they
had
haven't had their meeting yet.
What are they doing?
a special use now for the Everest is the public hearing, correct? It'll be a new special
Yeah, the zoning
amended.
board will meet on the 16th to review their amended special use permit, which includes the additional fields and more activity. Then it'll come to your board for review, for just site plan approval.
So it's it's for site plan approval, it'll be for the fields.
For the fields.
That are already
That's
there,
basically the
or-
change. And there, you may address traffic, I don't know, we're gonna do a seeker amendment at the public hearing on the 16th, the ZBA will be the lead on that.
I was gonna say, they should probably take the lead on that.
Yes.
Because of the issue of traffic and
So,
determine whether or
if
not.
they
it's-
deem appropriate, they'll approve the amended special use permit subject to your board approving the site plan.
Okay,
And it's already been, the changes have already been made.
all right, yeah. Okay.
And we were well aware of that,
Mhm.
but we've received a complaint regarding traffic.
So we're doing, it's
Andy
being
mentioned that we
formalized at this
formally-
point.
Yes.
Yeah,
go through the
okay.
Process,
All right. So that's something to look forward to probably at the next meeting.
yes. June.
Are we all on vacation then?
You wish.
I'm not going anywhere. I might be sick. but I'm
No,
not
I was
going
just
anywhere.
curious about that because Ron had talked to me a little bit about that because I think they were asking, zoning folks was asking whether or not we wanted to attend the same meeting, and we both agreed it's just, we'll stay in our camp and you stay in yours, and I think that's a better way to go.
You're welcome to come to the.
We can go and
Sorry,
listen to
come-
it
come in,
certainly,
yeah,
but
May
and
16th,
When's the public hearing?
7 o'clock on the 16th.
I think we're gonna do it at 6. They agreed.
Well, we'll do our regular business at 6.
Yes, but
We
they'll
have
be on the
4
agenda.
area
Yeah,
variances
4
to
area
consider,
variances.
So probably around 7.
What is the traffic issue?
it's predominantly
A complaint
traffic.
from a couple people, but I mean, you know, there's other people that live on the road that say they're doing a great service and the, you know,
that's
the
the other
frequent increase in traffic doesn't bother them. So anyway, it's one of those deals.
Yeah,
You could go on a lot of roads in the town. Oak Ridge Road, huh? All that is a pass through to Melrose to eventually Town Hall and Route 20.
right,
And it's a
People
county
don't live
highway,
here.
and they're designed for that volume of traffic.
right,
Yeah, so what
Yeah.
do
It
you
is
do?
periodic, it's sporadic, it's not.
yeah. Right.
I'm just I got a curious kind of a question for all three of you. You know, we've approved quite a few site plans on the lake in the past, I don't know, year, let's say. I'm just curious, there was a lot of things that needed to be watched as they were doing construction, and were there any problems that you picked out, or was everybody kind of following what was set forth as far as our,
There's always one problem with every site, no matter how good the site plan
is that right?
Yeah, we inspected a couple today. You know, we always follow up with either Ted or the contractor or the homeowner to try and resolve those things, but there's only 2 to 3 of us, you know, inspecting all of these things, so we do our best to catch every single one of them, and hopefully get some compliance, you know, otherwise, then it would be on the homeowner to have a violation fine, you know,
Yeah.
so.
Well,
do our best.
I think they know if we're keeping an eye on them, that they
Yeah.
might be a little more diligent
Yeah,
than before when we weren't, you know.
yeah, absolutely.
We've been real lucky to have a lot of contractors be proactive and reach
Yeah.
out to us before they even start the excavation and come out to inspect their
Good.
erosion control
Yeah.
plans, and most of them are responsive.
Yeah.
I mean, she can find and cite, and I can issue a stop work order for our codes, so they don't want to.
They don't want to go through that.
They
Yeah.
want to follow
Yeah.
the rules.
Yeah.
Most of them do.
Yeah.
They realize
Yeah.
they're in a sensitive area.
Sure.
Yeah, very rarely do they ever end up in a violation, and it just sometimes comes close, and we gotta catch it before it does.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't this place that we just went through here, down on Burtis Point, isn't that in the floodplain?
It's in a floodplain, yes.
So those people understand that, right? Don't they have to?
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, if they're building a new structure, then they have to do, you know, elevations and. different
So if they're not,
They're
then
just gutting
they
the
gotta
place.
take the necessary precautions, right?
Take the necessary precautions, and they all have to buy flood insurance down there.
Mhm,
Their lenders generally require it.
mhm,
Which is becoming expensive because they've had a lot of claims,
mhm.
FEMA, with all
Mhm.
these heavy rain and flood events and hurricanes, and
Yeah,
it still is subsidized by the federal government, but they want this to be a self-sustaining program, and if they do that, then these insurance premiums are gonna just, you know, people will be paying $4,000 or $5,000 a year for flood insurance. And
Wow.
so I don't know where the answer is to that. That's for the legislators to figure out. But
mhm. Yeah, anything new you would have to, but everything I think,
you
With
elevate
Congress.
2 feet above the
yeah, above the floodplain.
plane.
All right, anything else? I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
I'll have you know that I put your names in even before you said that.
Oh, that's.
Just so you can get their names in.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Wow.
All right.
Could you,
I may have screwed up the date at the top.
Yeah.
What you got there?
I got that.
So, how about tomorrow's stock market?
Yeah, I know,
Tell me
right?
about that. If she knows ahead of time.
I don't know, he must have been talking to somebody.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. He's
I don't
probably,
even
yeah.
recognize.
Are we recording these? Are people, people might tune in? Is that the idea?
I've been down the street.
This looks like a much more official recording device than just that
Been up there
little.
for 40 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been doing this at the library, same.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, same. thing.
49,
There's
49.
multiple cameras and somehow or
In that
another.
house.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it got very,
good
last year when
Yeah,
it
where
rained a
did
lot,
it-
the
Right,
lake
right
level
there.
came
Oh,
up
this thing.
and it flooded the whole
Oh, that's
front.
what it is.
We had wear boots and
And then it
that was
follows
like the
people
first,
around, I think, right? That are
Does it? Wow.
speaking.
you know, forever.
It's just that camera.
Oh, that was
Yeah, there's.
almost knee
this
high.
one.
Yeah. that
Yeah,
was
the
almost
camera
like-
right over here
Right.
between Gary and me. I
Yeah.
think, and there's one
Two
over
eyes,
there.
two eyes.
Up on top here.
Yeah, that's the